What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today's video, as you can imagine, going from the euphoria on Thursday night, from that comeback to this utter pish, for lack of better wording. I'll try and keep the video as positive as I can, although I don't really think there is much positive to say. Maybe other than Canberra today. Again, like, we'll talk about him in a bit, like what an influence he made into that team, absolutely sparked it into life. But the team starting, obviously, Aribo wasn't really going to start at left back, like maybe too much of a risk. So Harley started in, and then it was just your usual team, the 4-3-3. No Canberra still after playing great, going from the shape that we played the last 20-30 minutes against Braga that beat them 3-0. We beat them in the last 20-30 minutes with that new shape, new formation, new style of play, and we revert back to the stuff that we've been getting poor results for the past couple of weeks. And guess what? We get poor results again. I actually, I guess, somewhat foolishly, you can say now, thought we would pick up momentum from Thursday night, bring it into this and get wins going again, but boy was I wrong. It's just, it seems like such a mentality problem with our players. They only seem like big game players, and that is not what it takes to win a league. You need players who are willing to go to places like Perth on a crap pitch, windy day, and go and win and fight for them 3 points. Because if you want to play in the big stage, that's the games that you need to win to get to that big stage, instead of just turning up against Braga. The first major point in the game was, surprise surprise, a St Johnston goal. Katic with an absolute bomb scare. Poor clearance, one of about 50 poor clearances today. Centre one through. McGregor, I thought personally, should have come out his line quicker. And then, to be fair, at the end it was a good finish by the St Johnston player, but it's just far too easy for them to get in, and honestly I cannot see Katic starting the next game after how bad that performance was. I've been Katic's biggest supporter. Like, when he's playing well, I think he's a number one centre back at the club, but certainly right now he deserves to be nowhere near that first team. Again, our reaction wasn't really the best to go 1-0 down. It was just a lot of slow passing, centre backs passing between each other. Hadji, again, one of the only players willing to play them forward passes, and it was just a lot of tippy tappy stuff. I thought Kent and Morelos again today. I mean, in future, on Wednesday, we're going to see Morelos obviously isn't starting, so we're presuming it's just going to be Canberra up top. I hope it's not just a 4-3-3 we play against Braga, because we've seen that their wing backs and their formation was destroying us in that first half, and of course Braga are going to be more confident again at their home ground. But I would like to see Kent getting rested, I would say, because you've got players that are screaming on that bench. You've got Stewart, you've got Jones, who's like getting nowhere near this squad. Maybe on their game they're not as good, but they will put in the effort. You're just not seeing the effort. They didn't even look like they cared. Players like Hadji and Canberra on loan are showing more fight in the first team, and that is a major problem. So at half time, I think every fan was praying for changes, praying for Canberra to come on, and he did, and what an impact, what a goal it was from the big man, to be fair. And if that's not, that second half performance isn't enough to earn a spot in the team, then I don't know what is, because that strike was absolute quality. It was Halliday who came off for Aribo, and it almost plays like a 3-back at the time, because Aribo just not got that defender mentality, so he does drive forward, hence where his goal came from as well. So in this new shape that we had in the second half, you were seeing some link-up play, you were seeing there was more of a team. There wasn't as many gaps between the midfield, defence, attack. There was link-up play. Canberra and Morelos in particular, I thought, worked really well together, but Canberra again, another moment of magic, a lovely dummy just to sell his defender, going in, waiting for the composure, lays it back to Aribo, who puts us 2-1 up, and at that point you're thinking, right, we should be comfortable. Not that long after being 2-1 up, the subs came on, and it changed back to a 4-3-3. Davis and Stewart come on for Hadji and Morelos, who were linking up well. We changed it back to a 4-3-3, and surprise, surprise, the intensity dropped again. We did have a chance to seal the game, Canberra with a lovely dinked ball over the top to Morelos, and it was very similar to the St Johnston first goal chance of Morelos. He's just swung the leg at it, no composure, because he's just really not playing with confidence right now. He's not doing even his basics, his hold-up plays, passing, just really isn't on point right now. And to be honest, when I think Morelos was at his best is when he was rotating with Defoe. I think that's when we're seeing the best of Morelos right now. I don't think he really feels like he's got any competition, because Defoe's still trying to come back from injury, and so far he's not been giving Canberra a game, and when he does, he's been bringing Kent off for him. But with that finish, he could have, literally similar to the first goal, see if that got tapped, because the keeper came out jumping. If that's just tapped, like the St John's player done, that's 3-1 and that's game over. But again, our lack of killer instincts to finish games off, finish teams off, And another huge individual mistake by Katic. Two, it was. The first one, he could have cleared away, which ended up resulting in a corner. And then from the corner, he's the first man at the ball, boots into the crowd instead of up and away. And it's a little scramble, and it's a goal, and it's two each. And from that point, you're thinking, because we went from the high of getting what you thought was the winner to then being back down again. You could see that the players were kind of like, here we go again. And it was... everything got thrown at it there, to be fair. The two centre-halves went up front, but it just wasn't to be. And again, another 2 points dropped. Canberra did have his... again, it was a good finish, but it was a handball. There was no arguments about that. But again, we changed the shape when we were 2-1 up. I don't understand why we're changing this winning formula. Everything again all leads back to how can we be so poor in this second half of the season. Personally, I think... I mean, the club tell us, the players tell us nothing went wrong in Dubai, but I mean, we're actually getting to the point where do I believe that? Has there been some falling outs? Because how can you just go from that pre-winter break to after winter break and be so different? Gerrard as well now, like, as a Rangers manager, right? Personally, like, I love Steven Gerrard, right? Everyone loves him, he keeps saying the right thing, he's got the passion, he's got the belief, you can see that he really cares about our club. But there's got to be a point as well, like, if it wasn't for this European run, the European run really is papering over the cracks. Right, the European run we're in right now is absolutely fantastic with our resources to get to where we're at. But I'm sure you'll agree, and I'll agree, and most fans will agree, I'm sure 99%, what's more important is winning the league this year than getting a good run in the Europa League. Because you can't blame a management and the management team for individual errors like Katic's today, but you can certainly blame the management for the shape, the formations, the tactical changes, and it's just really been so poor. This 4-3-3 is so clearly working, and they seem almost arrogant in their way of continuing to try and play this way. Is it because Gerrard speaks to Klopp, he tries to mimic them so much for this 4-3-3 Liverpool with the wing backs getting involved? But then you've got to remember, of course, we're not Liverpool. Like, every one of their players are worth over 100 million, which is like 5 times our squad. It's just, hopefully, we're going to need to see a change soon, because maybe not sacking Gerrard that's maybe a bit far too extreme, right? I get that, because then you say, like, who are you going to bring in? But the tactics need to be looked at now, weeks ago, a month ago, and they need changed fast. I'm just going to go over to Twitter now, guys, and read out a couple of the replies that I got for people's opinions on what they thought of the game as well. Got Brian Spark here saying, who knows what's happened since the winter break? The defence has been atrocious, the midfield been non-existent, and Morelos and Kent are needing benched. We've got Dino Bambino here, bit more of a positive one. Just shows you if we won and they lose, it would have been 7 points with a game in hand and still 2 old firms to go. As Big Marv said, keep believing, and I wish I had the same faith as you, Dino, but Celtic look like they're going to win today. They were 1-0 down, they're now 2-1 up as I'm currently recording this. You think, realistically, that's never going to get clawed back. Even if we do win the 2 old firms, are we confident that we can go to like Hamilton away in this form and get results? Got William Cassidy here saying, who knows why Katic was still on the park, gave away 2 goals and was poor the full 90 minutes, and you can't disagree that he was poor the full 90 minutes. There's loads of others here just saying how gutted and disappointed people are, and they're not even know what to say anymore, because we're all sounding like a broken record now, saying this same thing with this form after the winter break. You can really see that the fans are just getting so tired of this inconsistency. Now, I'd love to hear your guys' opinions that are currently still here and watching. Put it down in the comments below. It'll be interesting to see what you guys think is going wrong and what we think needs done to improve this team in the future, because for me a huge part of this is like Katic, Kent and Morelos. Arguably like 3 of our best players like throughout the past season and a bit. It's just the form of important players at this important time of the season is just absolutely killing us. From this point onwards, if we do manage to beat Braga, go into the last 16, who knows, that's a different conversation depending on who we get in that next round. But you're thinking we must win the Scottish Cup now, but is winning the Scottish Cup, just the Scottish Cup, decent run in Europa League, is that enough for you to be called a successful season? For me, just to round this all up, it's just all our hard work has just been thrown away within this past month and a bit. All the hard games, the hard game against Braga, the going to Parkhead and winning, like they're all starting to mean nothing due to these games where the players just don't seem to be up for it, and we're throwing away these points and therefore throwing away the season. But that's going to be all for this video, guys. Hopefully on Wednesday night I'll be back with another video, and that one will be a positive one, hopefully. But Thank you for watching if you are still at this point in the video. Again, leave your thoughts in the comments down below. We'll catch you in the next one.